Hi guys, so today I'm going to do something a little bit different and I'm going to show you how to embroider or monogram a piece of clothing. You can do towels, you can do pillowcases, beach towels, anything you want, onesies, little kid things, blankets, and I know some of you might not have all of this stuff including the machine. But I'm going to show you how easy it is to do, and then maybe you can buy the machine and do it yourself. There are endless possibilities of what you can do after you buy the machine. So I love my machine, and I'll show you exactly how I do it and how easy it is. As far as I can think right now, this is what you will need. This is my machine, and actually this is my dining room. Just do everything on here until I have like a craft space. But this is my machine. It's the Brother SE400. And the only drawback of this is that it can only do an embroider this size, which I think is like a 4x4. And you can pay a little bit more for the step up of this if you want to do bigger monograms or embroidery things. But for the most part, this has worked for me. You will also, besides the machine, you will need this USB port to connect to your computer. And here is all my thread. You'll need some embroidery thread as well as your bobbin thread. And I'm not going to go into how to thread the machine and all that right now. If you guys are interested in any of that, if you have this machine and you're confused on how to use it, because I will admit it is a little bit confusing at first, then comment below and maybe I'll make a video about how to use the machine in general. But this is just how to monogram or embroider something. You'll need some scissors. This is a little graph to make sure that your garment is straight. So you can use that or you don't have to. And this is a little pen that marks spots on here. And then this pen washes off with water. And then you'll also need what is called a stabilizer. This is a little crappy piece, but basically you can get rolls of it at your craft store, and this is the stitch and tear. The garment I'm using, if you're using something like a shirt or something that you won't see the back of, then you don't have to use the tear off kind. You can use the kind that just stays on. But the garment that I'm using is a beach cover-up, and it's a little bit see-through, so I don't want you to be able to see the stabilizer through it. So this one just tears right off, and I'll show you that as well. And then for the computer, you do need a program to transfer your design onto the machine. The machine can do a few designs of its own, but not very good ones, and it just comes with like block letters, just a few selections. So it's really good to have a program, and the program did cost money. I can't remember how much it was, and this program that I'm using is called Embroidery, and it is for Mac computers. So if you don't have a Mac, then you can get a different program, but they're all pretty much the same. And I'll show you how I use that. And then this is what I'm going to monogram. I'm going to put my monogram on this Victoria's Secret beach romper, and I'm probably just going to put it down on the shorts right here in white. And it's just like a little tube top romper thing. So let's get started. Like I said, I think that's all you need, but I'll mention other things if we need other things. So here we go. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is pull up what design I want to use. And again, there's a lot of steps that you have to do before you do all this. And you have to buy fonts. Usually you can buy them on Etsy or different monogramming embroidery websites. And they're really cheap, and they come with like all the letters. And so I already have that saved on my computer. And so I'm not going to go through how to do all that, but I will show you how I get it into here. So I just clicked open, and I'm going to go to this folder and then monograms. And then I'm going to do mine, which is JHR. And then I think I'm going to do the fancy font. Okay, and I'm going to open that up. And there it is right there. And this is the size that it can be. And so I don't have to do it that big. which I don't really want to do it that big because since it's on the shorts, I'm probably just going to do it, you know, maybe that big. I think it can get to like this big. You can get the idea. But I am going to stretch it out just a little bit. Maybe to the middle of these. To the middle of that. To the middle of that. And so that is a good size. And when you're doing monograms, you want to make sure that you have your last name in the middle. Okay? Okay, now comes the tricky part. At least it's the tricky part for me. It's the part that I don't like as much, but that is hooping the garment. So what you need to do is you're going to put your stabilizer in this piece down, and then this little arrow is going to match that little arrow like this, but you need to put your garment right here. So I'm going to try to do this with the camera on. We'll see how this works out. And when you're doing something that has both sides, you don't want to hoop this too, because then it will sew together the shorts. So you just want to make sure that you're hooping this one piece of fabric. Okay, so that didn't really work as I wanted it to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to help me out. So I'm going to make sure I know where I want this to go. And the tricky part is to get it, you know, do you want it lined up with the seam and be a little bit crooked, or do you want it straight? I guess it doesn't really matter. It's just a beach cover up. So if you're doing like a t-shirt or onesie, you want to make sure it's super straight and correct. But this will be good for now. So I'm going to figure out exactly where I want it to go, and I kind of want it to be on the lower side. So I think that's good. And then I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to dot these areas so then I can line it up with the hoop. Okay, so now you can see where I have the dots, and now I'm going to try to hoop it again with those, and I'll show you how I do that in a second. So I put that in like normally, or like normal, with this in there as well. I could use a bigger piece of stabilizer, but we'll have to do. Okay, and now I have it like that. I'm going to put this back on. Make sure you line it up correctly, because if you have it backwards, it will not be correct. And then I'm going to line my dots up with the dots on here. And this material is a little bit harder because it's thin and it can stretch really easily. So I'm just going to try to get it as good as I can get. Obviously, it might not be perfect, but as you can see, I have them mostly lined up. So now I'm going to put the top on. Okay, so now that I have this piece hooped, I made sure that it was lined up again right there, just one last time. And then I'm going to tighten it by doing this. Now the reason why you want this to be really, really tight is so that the thread doesn't snag and it doesn't like clump the fabric together like that, which is going to be kind of impossible with this kind of material, as you can see how like thin it is and crinkly. So I'm just going to do my best and tighten it as best as I can. Okay, you can do this before or after, but I went ahead and got rid of the dots by using just a little bit of water. So now that I have it hooped, and again, make sure you don't hoop the back of the shorts or the back of the shirt or whatever you're doing, just hoop this one piece. You're going to hook it onto the machine. Actually, I'm going to thread the machine really quick with some white instead of black. Okay, now I'm going to hoop it, or put it in. Sorry about that. This is kind of hard to do with one hand. There we go. All right. This just snaps right into this piece. Oh, and also this machine is a sewing machine too. You just take off this little attachment piece and you can sew as well. Okay, so the number one thing you want to make sure is that the other piece of the short is not under here, because again, you don't want to sew it onto the other side of the shorts. So just make sure that there's no other fabric underneath, and also make sure that there's no fabric in this area where it's gonna sew. Okay, now you're gonna hook your computer up to the machine, and then you're gonna come onto your computer and you're gonna do File, Save As, and then you wanna save it. When it says where, you wanna save it to the what is it called? The machine. Mine is just called no name. And then save, and it'll transfer it over to here. And this is a touch screen, so you just want to touch the Bluetooth, and there it is, ready to go. And so you just click it and you take it to where you go. And then now that we are ready to go, and you can change this, you know, make it bigger, you can do different colors, you can do different stitches and all that. So once you're ready to go, which I'm not going to change anything. Okay, and now I'm going to press the needle down, and once you get the green arrow, that means you're ready to go, and you're going to click it. And then you just let it do its thing. And there are plenty of times where your bobbin thread might run out, or the top thread might run out, or it might get tangled up or something. And it's really easy to find your place. Since this is doing it on its own, you need to find your place if you ever need to stop for some reason. So as you can see here, this is the stitch count. So there's 4,811 stitches, and it's counting up here. So when it stops, it'll automatically stop for you, and the error will come up here, and then you'll see what stitch you're here, and then you can go back or forward stitches and to find your spot. So it's very simple to do that. And another thing is that obviously you don't have to do monograms. You can do anything embroidery. You can make little animals, pictures, whatever, and you can do all different colors. You can do more than one color, and the machine will stop when the color is done, tell you to switch the color out, and start over on the next color. So it is very easy, very dummy proof, and it makes awesome things. So love to just sit here and watch this as it goes. Okay, so now that it's done, it cuts the string or the thread for you. So you just lift up your needle, and then you pop it off right here. Take it on out, and then, oops, caught. And then you have your finished product. And I'm going to unscrew this to loosen it up a bit. And then take it off. Take it out of that. And then what you can do, you see these little strings, because it doesn't cut, you know, in between. So that's when you just take your little scissors and you cut it yourself. Make sure not to cut the fabric. Okay, And then this is when, since this stabilizer is stitch and tear, you just tear it on off like this. And then a little tedious, but you go ahead and tear all this off too, because I once left that there, and then once you wash the garment, it gets all like crinkly and stuff. You can fix it and take it off, but you might as well just take the time and take it off now. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I got most of it off, and now we are done. So let's see how it turned out. There it is. Turned out really cute. It's just big enough, and it's pretty straight. I mean, it's a little bit crooked, but like I said before, I didn't want it to be straight up and down anyways. It's even with the shorts. And then there's the top. So I hope you guys like this video. If you like monograms and embroidery and stuff like that, especially if you have a kid and you're a mom and have tons of cute baby clothes that you can monogram and design little blankets and stuff, you should definitely invest in the machine. I can't remember exactly how much it was because my husband actually got it for me for my birthday. But it's not that expensive, and it's fun, and you can just make one little piece of clothing look even better. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and again, leave in the comments if you want to know more about the machine itself or see another tutorial on one with different colors or something. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.